So spirituality is a very beautiful platform where we can always constantly keep our ego in check. Because when we serve, for example, let's take PSSM as a platform. When we serve, we work in a group. We offer services in a group. We interact with many different kinds of people with different kinds of mindsets. Our thoughts may not match, our views may not match. There could be many conflicts. Whenever there is a conflict, we cross check. We see, is there any expectation? Am I working with ego consciousness? Am I working in the consciousness of giving? Am I seeing separation between them and me? So this keeps a constant check on our ego. When we truly serve, we must drop the ego and act from the feeling of oneness. We realize there are no others. In such a expanded consciousness, we are able to work when we are working without ego. We are not separate at all. We are one with everyone. That oneness you get to experience when you serve. So, service should come from love, not from pride. There's so many challenges. People might not listen. They might ignore us. That's when sometimes ego comes up. But when we are in constant check, we are able to work it out. We are able to overcome it. We are able to work on ourselves. We are able to work on the quality of our service. So whenever such challenges come,
UK time now is, good evening everyone, UK time is now 8 p.m. We are conducting meditation 3 times a day at this forum for the benefit of world peace and harmony at UK times 8:45 a.m., 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. Those joining from other nations, please make note of their local time in accordance with their time zone. Today's events are taking place for 1457th day, and we are proudly announcing that. We are grateful for PSSM Tamil Europe, PSM Global India for their sponsorship as well as motivation and support rendered to us. Firstly, brief introduction to meditation and steps to perform will be explained, followed by meditation for up to 30 minutes. Thereafter, the main event as a talk will be provided by Arunachaleshwari Master from USA. Finally, there will be time for discussions and translation and announcements before we conclude the program. Let there be peace, unity, health, prosperity throughout the world. Let the benefits from our meditation as a group magnify and spread worldwide. Now the meditation will be guided by Damayanti Singaravadivel Master.
Thank you, Jagannath Master. Greetings to all. We are blessed to have this opportunity to do this meditation. Drink some warm water before and after the meditation to prevent dryness of the throat. Sit in a comfortable position, either in a chair, sofa, or the floor. Keep your head upright and your spine in straight posture. Please remove your spectacle if you are wearing one. Interlace your fingers like this and keep them on your lap. Keep your feet crossed like this. Now, focus on your normal breath, that is in breath and out breath. You may get thoughts during meditation. However, ignore them and concentrate on your breath again and again. Gradually, your thoughts will lessen. We will do this meditation for 30 minutes with music, silence meditation. Nandri. Separate. Masters, please come back to your normal awareness. Separate your hands and put your fingers gently over your eyes. Open your eyes gently in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Clap your hands for 30 seconds and enjoy completing the wonderful group meditation. Nandri, Vanakkam. I hand over this to Jagannath Master.
Thank you, Damayanti Master. Now let us thank Damayanti Singaravadivel Master for guiding us the meditation. Our thanks also extends to those who are behind the scenes and of help to play the music, provide the posters, as well as recording this program. Furthermore, our gratitude extends to our parents as well as well-wishers for their respective involvement towards our birth, achievements, and good standing in the community. Also, our gratitude to the universe that provides the basis for every life within it. More importantly, the sun rises each day, overcoming darkness to provide the necessary light for the survival of all life on Earth. Events at this forum provides the means to overcome our darkness of our ignorance and light up the wisdom. We are grateful for the masters, Mr. and Mrs. Iskandar Raja, who inaugurated this forum and are working tirelessly for its successful running. Let there be peace, unity, prosperity, and health throughout the world. Let the benefits of this meditation as a group magnify and spread worldwide. Now we are coming to the evening main program of a talk by Arunachaleshwari Master. She has given us talks previously. Today her topic will be as spiritual science and services. I will have to give a brief introduction. She is from Texas, USA, married with 2 children, and she views herself as blessed with happy family. She grew up in a family devoted to Ramana Maharshi's teachings. In 2019, she discovered Patriji through YouTube, and Anapanasati meditation guided by Patriji had enriched her spiritual journey. Spirituality has always been part of her life, and we warmly welcome Arunachaleshwari Master to deliver her speech. Now, over to you, Master.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here again. My pranams to our Master Patriji. Namaste, friends. Today here I'm again to share my thoughts on this beautiful topic, spiritual science service. So what is service? A service is something that we offer to others without anything in return, without any expectations. Like no expectations about money, no expectations about gifts, no neither having any expectations about appreciation or any kind of recognition. So that is service. The moment we start expecting, it no more becomes a service. It becomes a transaction, a business. Like, I give you this, you give me this. That becomes a business. So service is something which is offered selflessly without any expectation. We must serve with love, not with a desire to be, to be praised or to be recognized or to be seen. So that is service. And service is a very beautiful platform where we can check our ego. It helps us see our ego. In spirituality, ego means feeling separated from others. Ego says, I'm doing this. I must be respected. My thought, my idea should be followed. So it keeps our ego in check. Whenever we offer something, 1 second, masters, just a second. Yeah, excuse me, masters. My kids, they needed me. Yeah, that's my primary duty, so I cannot. Yeah, anyway, thank you. So, spirituality is a very beautiful platform where we can always constantly keep our ego in check. Because when we serve, for example, let's take PSSM as a platform. When we serve, we work in a group. We offer services in a group. We interact with many different kinds of people with different kinds of mindsets. Our thoughts may not match, our views may not match. There could be many conflicts. Whenever there is a conflict, we cross check. We see, is there any expectation? Am I working with ego consciousness? Am I working in the consciousness of giving? Am I seeing separation between them and me? So this keeps a constant check on our ego. When we truly serve, we must drop the ego and act from the feeling of oneness. We realize there are no others. In such a expanded consciousness, we are able to work when we are working without ego. We are not separate at all. We are one with everyone. That oneness you get to experience when you serve. So, service should come from love, not from pride. There's so many challenges. People might not listen. They might ignore us. That's when sometimes ego comes up. But when we are in constant check, we are able to work it out. We are able to overcome it. We are able to work on ourselves. We are able to work on the quality of our service. So whenever such challenges come, you question, am I reacting with ego or am I serving with love? Because service is a powerful mirror. It shows you your own mirror. Your own reflection. It shows whether we are working, with what consciousness we are working. Whether where our ego is still hiding, or has it completely dissolved? So that's how we grow in spirituality. In Bhagavad Gita, they say, Lord Krishna says, Karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Means, he says, do your duty, but do not expect the results. This is the path of Karma Yoga. Doing the best we can, offering our best in the present moment, being in the present without any expectation of the future. Like, I don't expect in future I don't want them to respect me for what I have offered to them today. Not worrying about what's the outcome going to be. So when we serve with our full heart, without thinking about the result or what's going to be the outcome, that becomes karma yoga. Otherwise, like when you're serving selflessly, you're not accumulating any karma there. But when you are serving with any kind of an expectation, then you're accumulating karma. So we serve without like it becomes a regular karma whenever we are in that cycle of expectation. So it's a great practice to become a true karma yogi. Here, these might sound very simple, like keeping your ego in check, keeping always being conscious of serving with love, not seeing separation between you and the opposite person, the oneness. These are all great learnings in our life that we practice while serving. Patriji often reminded us, he used to say, there's a quote that says, the moment you expect something, you're no longer a spiritual. You are going back to your ego. This is what he used to always say. Because service becomes a mirror, and we observe and we dissolve ego based on tendencies. Like, suppose you are doing something, you get anger, you feel hurt, or there's a feeling of pride. These are all the checkpoints for us. So this is how we see our own reflection in the mirror. Because what we see in others is we see because we have it in us. So that's how it's mirroring. So this was all about what is service. And now let's understand what is spiritual science service. It is service that works for everyone. So the word spiritual science is something that is not religious. Spiritual science means something that works for everyone, not just based on their belief, um, but it's based on their real experience. Something that worked for me should work for everybody else as well. So that is spiritual. That is scientific. For example, Buddha was a great spiritual scientist. He followed many gurus, he followed many spiritual practices, and finally he settled for Anapanasati because that works for everyone. There could be a mantra, it could work for somebody, but there's no guarantee the same mantra would work for everybody else. But Buddha didn't just ask people to believe, he gave meditation technique like Anapanasati. He said, observe your breath. Anyone that knows, any human or any being that is breathing can try and benefit from this Anapanasati. This is a universal thing. It works for everyone. So something that works for everyone is called spiritual science. Now, in the same way, true spiritual service must be something that uplifts everyone. It should bring peace. It should bring joy and transformation, and no matter who does it. So, something which is universal, working for everyone, is the spiritual science service. If it is something only working for a set of people, we can call it spiritual service. But if it is working for everyone, we call it spiritual science service. So, service without ego, with full of love and presence, and experimenting becomes a spiritual experiment. It brings change inside us and also in the world around us. So Buddha was the first, I can say, the first spiritual scientist who brought Anapanasati to us. After practicing numerous methods, following various gurus, he finally researched that, okay, just focusing on your breath or watching your breath works for everyone. So, first thing, no expectations, removing your ego, being a true karma yogi, and then being aware of where is your action coming from. Is it coming from love, selflessness? Being aware of that becomes spiritual science, and that's the path that works for everyone. So let us all serve with a pure heart, without our ego coming in between, without expectations, just with love and joy. When you serve without ego, you grow without any limits. And in service, when we offer, there's a law of universe, which is you give something, you receive multifolds. When you serve with love, you receive love. Like, for example, if I am teaching something as a part of service, I learn more. I gain more knowledge. And I've experienced it many times. Through giving, we receive more. It doesn't mean you give because you want more, but you give selflessly. That's how universe works. And PSSM is such a beautiful platform for us to serve. Because here we are serving, we are teaching everyone how to meditate. There could be various means of teaching or spreading meditation. Like when Patriji started this mission, this movement, he went door to door. He went from person to person. He traveled to many villages, cities across the world to teach meditation. But now we have technology. We use Zoom. This is a beautiful platform for us. So the means could be anything for teaching meditation, or we are also giving technical trainings. All we are asking in return is please meditate with us for 30 minutes. And the technical training is all for free. So what I'm trying to say here is we are giving the tool to everyone to realize that they don't have to depend on anybody. They need to just know that their breath is their guru. If you, for example, you do annadanam in a temple, or maybe you do some donation in an orphanage or in a old age home, or you offer for some financial help for somebody's education, they are all temporary. They are not giving them a permanent solution for anything. But when you teach meditation, it is giving them freedom from all dependencies. It is enabling them to be connected to their own self. So once we are connected to ourselves, all our questions are answered. We don't have to search anything outside. We have everything inside us. So we are making them. So that is the reason we call this is the highest form of service, the spiritual science service. So all other services are like, for example, you offer food, he will be done in a day or two, or let's say you are giving somebody for their education, they learn, they get a job, or they are able to, earn for their living, but they are still having dependencies. But when you are connected to yourself, you know the right path in your life, you know what to follow, you get that intuition. You don't have to ask anybody what's the right thing for me to follow. So that's what Patriji has always, he told us, you're a master. He did not say, I'm a master, follow me, serve me. No, he said, you are your own master. You are a master. Your breath is your guru. And that's why we should always choose to serve on this platform, PSSM. Or because now that you have this knowledge, with knowledge comes responsibility. It is our responsibility to spread it, to spread about meditation, vegetarianism, and about pyramids. These are all his visions. Patriji had these visions of Dhyana Jagat, Shakahara Jagat, and Pyramid Jagat. And now they have become our missions. We are taking them forward. So, yes, Masters, this is my few of the points that I wanted to cover on spiritual science service. And my personal experience, like I have mentioned, when I give, I have experienced I am receiving multifolds. Universe is giving me multifolds. So it's not just my soul evolution. Everything around me is changing. When you are serving in a group, you are in that group consciousness. You're in that kind of oneness. So as big is your group, so big is your consciousness growing. If you feel you somebody else and I'm someone else, your consciousness is only this much. But when you feel I am one with the universe, your consciousness is growing. Your mind, everything is expanding. We're not limiting it. So let's all operate, or let's all serve in that oneness consciousness from our heart, and we will get closer to knowing ourselves. We will be connected with our true self. So thank you all. Let's walk this path of spiritual science service together. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Arunachaleshwari Master, for delivering your talk and sharing the wisdom with us. I've got a few points, but I think I better come back at the end. So I'm going to open the forum. Before opening the forum, we must show our appreciation by applauding for a few seconds. Everyone to follow that, please.
Thank you so much.
So I'll expect participants to put their hands up so I can ask them one by one to either comment or give their views on this topic. Everybody seems stunned. Kumar Sampala Master has put his hand up. We can start perhaps. Unmute, please.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Greetings to everybody. Actually, you talk very brief but very informative and inspirational. You were talking about ego. I would like to clarify one small thing. Ego could be taken positively and negatively. So ego sometimes refers to my self-esteem. So it is always better to have self-esteem, then only you can do things with confidence. Because, for example, if I am a good speaker or a writer, then I must think higher of myself. That type of ego is, I think, necessary for anyone's growth. But in your talk, I think you are referring to the people who always go the other way around, negatively, trying to dominate everything and they don't give a chance to others. That's, of course, dangerous. So, in my view, if the ego is taken in a positive sense, I think it is good. What's your opinion about it?
Anything that you do with the feeling that I am doing, there you're collecting karma. It is good to have confidence in yourself, but always have a feeling or the sense that we are tools, or we are being used as tools to deliver this. Universe is doing it through us. It's not that I am doing it. Yeah. So
what do you mean? We do something and surrender the service to God. That's it.
yes, do like Krishna said, do your job the best way you can, and rest, leave the result.
Result to the good. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Dr. Navaratnam Master is next. Please unmute yourself first. Okay.
All, I enjoyed the speech today, and it coincides with what I have learned. In fact, Yoga Swami has also said, do your duty, don't expect a reward. He also had several times said, Sumairi, that is, sit without doing anything, means dhyanam, say. The other thing is, ego, I agree, ego refers to in Tamil Anavam. Anavam, ego does hide the goodness of the soul. The soul is pure and good, but the ego, when it is bad, or whatever, negative ego, it spoils or covers the soul. And in fact, I've seen several people who try to do a lot of things, but want to be recognized. Not only recognized, they want to dominate. They want to say, I am doing it. To me, that you are the chairman. I made you the chairman. I made you get the money. This sort of ego is negative. And I agree with you that service without ego is the best thing. And that becomes Karma Yoga. Thank you very much for enlightening us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Navaratnam Master. Next would be Anandi Baladasan Master. Okay.
Arunachaleshwari Master, it's a wonderful topic and wonderful explanation. I can see from your person just standing beside you, you are giving her love and kindness without any expectation. We don't expect anything from our kids. Very nice. The spiritual science help us to learn balance, meditating and developing spiritually with fulfilling duties and responsibilities towards society, work and our family. That's the main spiritual science means. Very nice talk. I expect more talks from you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let me come in next then. I think the quality of ego, I think someone put forward it. It's pointless trying to qualitatively analyze it. But as you pointed out, have a check on ego. When you have an ego, ego doesn't allow us to admit our ignorance. So this is why, as long as you know, if you acknowledge your ignorance, you'll never be egoistic. This is what spirituality is about. Whatever you look at it, or however, whatever you are approaching, look for more and more purity or search for the truth. That means you have to acknowledge the ignorance. So they are not compatible. So if you have ego, you'll never admit you are ignorant. That's one thing. Now, karmic yoga, I don't know how people interpret it. In Tamil, there's a word called karmam, which is duty. That's it. That's what Krishna says as well. So if you are doing a duty, ego interferes when ego interferes, your needs become prioritized than the needs of others. There you are. So in other words, if you want to provide proper services, yes, check on your ego, because ego will want to please you rather than others. But you can't please everyone every time. That is not possible. So that is why you have to strike a balance. That's when conscience come into play. I have an issue with the word science. I'm afraid I have to be very critical about it, because science, of course, there's one important point in not comparing, denoting science, because science never settles with anything. Many years ago, I heard it in a television, radio program. Honda company never settles for okay, because they were telling if bicycle was okay, a horse cart was okay, nobody would have invented a car or train. So science is like that. Science never settles with anything. So in that way, spirituality, you can quote it as a science, but I will never say Buddha was a scientist, because that is I'll come in with more explanation. Because science is mainly objective. Everybody knows Archimedes' principle and how the task given to him was his crown, the gold was pure or genuine. So unless you melt it, nobody was able to, there was no way to measure the volume. So when he dipped himself in the bath, he realized you can measure the volume. So until that he found the discovery, if you want to say this gold is pure or 22 karat or whatever, you have to know the volume, the weight divided by the volume gives you the concentration or whatever. So before Archimedes discovered it, you can only say, oh, this is pure gold or genuine gold by how your mind is pleased, isn't it? Oh, this is shining properly, so this must be pure. This is where the science is mainly objective, whereas spirituality is subjective. So we mustn't get confused, because these are basic things. So this is what we must be clear with the basic. But as I pointed out, science never settles for anything. It wants to find out more or reach more. So you can, in that way, call it our spiritual science. But we must understand, lastly, about group consciousness. Well, they call it universal consciousness, isn't it? So in other words, the more you move towards outside or beyond yourself, there is no ego. So they are polar opposite anyway. So that's all I wanted to share with everyone. But I hope anybody else who can add, or maybe they may give a different view. I'm more than happy to accept it. I'm not saying what I've said it's all absolutely correct or truth, but that is the way. As I said, the Honda, when I heard that program, I was really taken by it. Never says okay. But and you have to be, there's another downside of it is, but if you want to be satisfied with life, you have to be okay, accept as an okay thing. But when it comes to improving or search for the truth, then you have to question it. This is what the difference is there. So I don't want to give another talk here, but thank you for inspiring us to think more into it. But ego, I always say, self-respect and ego is a continuum. And where to put the dividing line is an impossible task. But you can use some practical tips in life to know where to keep a check on it. In Tamil, they say, Madiyar Vasar Midiyade. That means don't step into somebody's house or whatever if they don't respect you. I have modified it. If circumstances call for, you have to step in their premises, but you don't necessarily have to eat there. That's a different thing. So that is not ego. But self-respect is, oh, I will never step. I always give an example as well. A person who is dying in a sick bed, right? Somebody comes to visit him who had fallen out with this guy who is dying. So he'll turn his face otherwise. Why did you come here? That is ego. You understand? So these are the practical tips that you can apply, but you can never put a cutoff line where your self-respect goes into ego unless you use these practical tips and handle your life. So trying to qualify ego is an impossible task. So I hope I answered whoever brought that ego issue, but anyway. Anyone else to give their views? And otherwise we can go for the translation. Shall we wait for a few minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, Rajesh Sittam Master. Unmute yourself, please. Okay.
Good evening to all. Good evening, Arunachaleshwari Master. It's a very, very useful topic you have selected, and I really enjoy listening to it. Ego, yes. But what I'm thinking is, if somebody get upset about something, somebody irritates them, and they reacted to their actions, will you call that as ego?
Always we try to respond, not react. So when you react, you're not thinking, you're not knowing what action you're doing. But when you give a pause, you think, okay, something they did, I did not like it.
Yeah.
Why am I not liking it? What is in me that is not liking it? When we are in this oneness, when I'm telling there should not be any kind of a separation, I can think only until the amount of knowledge I have. Maybe the opposite person knows better than me and I'm not able to think that much. So, and I am probably resisting something because of which I'm not liking it. So it takes a lot of internal work to, overcome that and not to react and to respond.
Yeah, but we're human.
Yeah. That's why it's practice. That's why we're taking so many janmas to learn it.
We have to be superhuman then.
No, we have to be normal. When trying to become super or like special, we lose the essence of seeing things as they are. Yeah.
So we have to control our temper, in other words.
Well, it's not controlling. It is not letting mind control us. It comes immediately. The anger, the pride, the ego, it comes immediately into the mind. But you take power over it. You give a pause, you think. So the only solution is work on ourselves, increase our meditation time. That's the solution for everything. When we meditate more, we are more grounded. These triggers will not trigger us anymore.
In other words, we just ignore them and trying to get rid of them as quickly as possible. Will you agree?
Ignore something. If something is happening, you come across a situation, it has come for a reason, to teach you something. There's something for us to learn in that. If you ignore this time, next time it will come more intensely. So
what would you do?
I would think about it. I would like, give me a situation. You said a person does something and I don't like it, you said? Is that a situation, Rajesh Master?
Sorry?
Yeah, can you give me a situation? I mean, could you just rephrase what you said initially? You said somebody does something and I don't like it?
Yeah.
If I don't like it, I will ask first, what is this? I will.
You want me to say what it is? That's a bit personal.
No, I mean, give me a situation, like, are they angry at me, or what exactly is, give me a rough situation there.
No, this is a group where everybody is listening. There's so many people listening, so I don't want to get involved in depth. But because you are giving us a very good speech tonight, and then we have learned a lot. But you say about ego and how to control it. But there are circumstances that it goes beyond our control. If somebody comes and irritates you, you get immediately angry. I know I've been meditating since 1982, but still we are human. We are trying to control ourselves. We are trying to meditate. We are trying to do all good things and everything, but still.
Okay, so the question is, what do I do when that irritation is caused, when something irritates me? When something irritates me, I will see what is that resistance that is causing that irritation in me. It could be the opposite person's way of looking at things, which I'm probably not liking it. So I will let them do their thing. I will not attach myself to it and not increase thoughts on it.
In other words, you won't go down to the level of them, and then you be
I
yourself.
keep my own frequency. Yes, I'm not decreasing my frequency.
Yeah.
Yes.
True. I've been doing that. Even if some people say something which I don't like it, I just ignore them. But there are times it goes beyond your control. We're human beings.
True, but like I've told in my previous talks, we should always see at a soul level. There is something probably which is raising this situation in this lifetime, which probably is unfinished in the previous lives. So there could be some learning in this situation that I have to learn. It has come to teach me something.
So I suppose we have to be down to earth people for all these hierarchy, temperamental, all these people. We have to be Anandi Master laughing like anything.
Yes.
No, sorry. I shouldn't be getting too involved in this, but sometimes I think like that. I'm doing the meditation and I'm trying to be passive and all that. But some people all of a sudden come and irritates you. And then I forget myself and I get into a temper and I flare up. Later on, I think I made myself silly. Why did I do that? Why did I go to their level? They're silly.
One thing you can do in this situation, it could happen a conflict or a disagreement with anybody, could be a family member or a friend or at work. In your meditation, send them love. It will
say it again, meditation.
In your meditation, when you meditate, send love to them.
Oh.
I'm afraid there's no quick fix for it. We shall invite Kumar Swami Pillai Master to do the translation and continue your discussion thereafter. Sorry to interrupt because Kumar Swami Pillai Master, where is he?
Well, we go 15 minutes. So that's why I thought I'll just go deep into her because she has given us a good speech.
I can see that, but we must be time conscious. I keep saying every time.
Yes, time conscious is about 15 minutes. There's no other hands raised.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We can come back and maybe we'll give a Tamil translation.
Of course, 15 minutes. And
no, I have kind of give you a few points there. No, you have taken about more than 5 minutes now. Hold on. You have taken about more than 5 minutes. I have always keep a watch on mine. Sorry to say this. Let me call upon Kumar Swami Pillai Master to do the translation. You can continue after that if there's enough time.
No, I'm finishing.
I'll ask next time when she comes.
No, excuse me. It's not much time. It's not much talk. She has already given
We're not
me
listening.
the answer.
I'm saying is Kumar Swami Pillai Master have to do the translation. I don't know how long it'll take. If it's brief,
I'm almost finishing. Another time when you go on, I will immediately pop in and say, "Oh, you're going on."
Of course,
anyway,
I went more than what is required from me today. I'm not denying it because I also watched other people haven't come forward, so I took the time. Anyway, let's not go into it deeper. Kumar Swami Pillai Master, please, now you can start.
That's how nobody has come forward. It's only Kumar Swami Pillai Master to give the translation. So I thought I will ask her all the questions I can because I was looking at everywhere. There's no hands raised. So I thought I'll ask all sorts of questions and get the solid answer from her what I can do in the situation.
There's no quick fix. I already said that.
Go on. You better say your translation.
I think we'll have to learn to forgive and forget. That's the most important thing. Yes.
Forget and forgive, yeah. Okay.
That's what we have to practice. Actually, by thinking about if somebody has hurt me, if I think about it, it affects my own health. And it's from that point of view, we must forget the other person who has hurt me. That's my belief. Thank you, Nash. I think I'll continue.
Brilliant, Kumar Swami Pillai Master. All these time, very, very patiently listening to my questions. Even that Arunachaleshwari Master, she has given me solid answers. I appreciate that. But also your answer is also very good. Because I'm a little bit upset. So I thought I'll come out in this.
I'm sorry if you're upset. There's no need for upset. When the chairman conducts the program, you have to respect the chairman. Come on. Have you never been attending a meeting?
Okay. Thank you. Greetings.
Hold on. Oh, you can look at the program. I'm more than happy to hand over. You want to take over?
Oh, go on.
There you are.
Okay. Greetings to everybody. அருணாச்சலேஸ்வரி மாஸ்டர் அவர்கள் ஆன்மீக அறிவியல் சேவை என்ற தலைப்பில் ஆற்றிய உரையின் முக்கிய கருத்துக்களை உங்களுடன் பகிர்ந்து கொள்ள விரும்புகின்றேன். முதலாவது சேவை என்றால் என்ன என்பதை விளக்கி கூறினார். சேவை என்றது எந்த விதமான எதிர்பார்ப்பும் இல்லாமல் செய்வதுதான் சேவை. எப்பொழுது ஒரு செயலை செய்துவிட்டு எதிர்பார்ப்பு செய்கிறீர்களோ அது வணிகமயமாக்கப்படுகின்றது. நீங்கள் பொருளை எதிர்பார்க்கும் பொழுது அங்கே சேவை மனப்பான்மை இல்லை. எப்பொழுதும் சேவை செய்யும் பொழுது அன்புடனும் எதிர்பார்ப்பு இல்லாமலும் செய்வதே சேவையாகும். அப்போ சில பேர் என்றால் சேவை செய்கிறேன் என்றால் தன்னை அறிமுகப்படுத்துவதற்காக தன்னை விளம்பரப்படுத்துவதற்காக சிலரிடம் சேவை செய்வார்கள். அது நான் என்னும் அகங்காரம் அடிப்படையில் செய்வது. அதனாலே சேவை என்பது எந்தவித அகங்காரம் இல்லாமல் அன்புடன் செய்வதே சேவையாகும். இப்போ இதில் நாங்கள் என்னென்ன ஆன்மீகத்தை நாங்கள் பின்பற்றும் பொழுது என்ன நடக்கின்றது என்றால், இப்படியான நான் என்னும் அகங்காரத்தை கட்டுப்பாட்டுக்குள் வைப்பதற்காக உதவுகின்றது. இப்போ நாங்கள் எப்பொழுதும் ஒரு குழுக்களில் சேவை செய்யும் பொழுது சில நேரங்களில் பலவிதமான முரண்பாடுகள், கருத்து வேறுபாடுகள் இருக்கத்தான் செய்யும். அப்படியான நேரத்திலையும் நாங்கள் ஒரு அன்புடன் நேசித்து சவால்களை சந்தித்து செய்வதே உண்மையான இது. ஆர்வனாலே மிகுந்த சேவை செய்யும் பொழுது ஒரு குழு உணர்வுடன் நாங்கள் உணர்வு நிலை செய்ய வேண்டும். அது கிருஷ்ண பகவான் கீதையில சொல்லி இருக்கிறார். கர்மயோகம் என்று உங்களுக்கு எல்லோருக்கும் தெரியும். கடமையை செய், எந்த விதமான எதிர்பார்ப்பும் இல்லை என்று. அப்போ ஆகையினாலே நாங்கள் சேவை செய்யும் பொழுது அன்புடன் எந்த விதமான எதிர்பார்ப்பும் இல்லாமல் சேவை செய்ய வேண்டும். அடுத்தது ஆன்மீக அறிவியல் ஒன்று. இதில் 2 விதமான கருத்து இருக்கின்றது. ஒன்று ஆன்மீக அறிவியல் என்றால் என்ன என்று சொன்னால், ஆன்மீகம் எல்லாருக்கும் பொதுவாக செய்ய வேண்டியது. முதலாவது புத்த பிரான் எங்களுக்கு ஆனாபான சதியை அறிமுகம் செய்தார். அது எல்லோருக்கும் உலகளாவிய ரீதியில் எல்லாருக்கும் பொருத்தமான ஒரு சேவை என்ற ஒன்றா தான் நாங்கள் அதை ஆன்மீக அறிவியல் என்று சொல்லுகின்றோம். ஆனால் சில நேரங்கள் எங்களுக்கு தனிப்பட்ட முறையில் செய்யும் பொழுது அதில் குழுக்களாக செய்யும் பொழுது அதில் அறிவியல் சொல்ல முடியாது. ஆனால் அது ஆன்மீகம் சார்ந்த சேவை என்று கூற வேண்டும். அதாவது புத்தபிரான் எங்களுக்கு நீங்களுடைய மூச்சை கவனி என்று சொன்னால் அது பொதுவாக உலகளாவிய ரீதியில் எல்லோருக்கும் பொருந்தும். அப்போ அது ஆன்மீக அறிவியல் என்றே சொல்ல வேண்டும். சில நேரங்கள் குழுக்களுக்கு பொருத்தமானது ஆன்மீகம் சார்ந்து என்று வருகிறோம். எப்பொழுது நாங்கள் ஒரு குழுக்களில் இப்படி வேலை செய்யும் பொழுது ஒருவருக்கு விட்டு கொடுத்து புரிந்துணர்வுடன் வாழ்வதே நல்லது என்பதை புத்தபிரான் அந்த ஆன்மீகத்தில் சொல்லி கொண்டிருக்கின்றது. இங்கே நான் என்ன கூற வேண்டும் என்றால், ஸ்பிரிச்சுவல் என்று சொல்வது நான் என்ற அகங்காரத்தை விட்டு மற்றவர்களின் நலன் கருதி எந்த விதமான எதிர்பார்ப்பும் இல்லாமல் செய்வதே ஆன்மீக சேவை என்று கூறி இந்த வாய்ப்புக்கு நன்றி விடைகின்றேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
நன்றி குமார் சாஹிப் மாஸ்டர் அவருக்கும் நாங்கள் வினாடிகள் கரகோஷம் அனுப்பி நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்வோம். இனி நாங்கள் தொடரலாம் தமிழிலே, அல்லது அவர் போயிட்டா நினைக்கிறேன், சொல்லியிருக்கோம்.